So let's talk about the security of the people who are working at the Iebc. We had their chairman talk the other day, and he was actually assuring us, you know, the chairman of the Iebc, Mr. Chebukati, that there is going to be enough security for his staff, all right, that they will be safe. But he's actually imploring them to be very careful about the kind of social places they're going to at this moment. If you remember clearly, it was around this time that we lost the IT manager, Msando. You know, it was a few days to the election. Now we are actually headed to the elections. And we wouldn't want, you know, things like that. Let's talk to the Iebc, you know, staff. How would we deal with how they're supposed to conduct themselves between now and the elections?
Well, Millicent, you know, I will talk to you on the point as an investigator and an intelligent person. Mm-hmm. There is no special grade for somebody in Iebc. Every work in this country is important. Mm-hmm. What matters is character and behavior. So, the issue that their life is under threat, I don't think is there. Because after all, they will not change any result. Uh-huh. Whether we kill the whole of that Iebc, it will not change any result. The result will just be there. Me, I think certain things happen not because of what you are, but in the way you behave. There are the very, very people who reveal weaknesses that enemies tap on. If they remain as Iebc and remain in the obligation of their principle, nobody will interfere with them.
No one will even know who is in charge of what and is going to do what.
Yes, and again, who would be caring yet you are not voters? They are not voters. They are not the vote. They only announce which what has done. And there is nobody who has got that ill mind. Because even if you think differently, a process you can't finish. This process of election now, it is on until 9 August. Then the president has got time in the office to arrange for a new president to come in. So thinking illy is not there. Iebc has done good, but they must keep a stand. I was of the idea, which I think they are now curing, with the electric purpose, which they are now bringing in, the voting system. But what Iebc needed to have done is that between now and June, before we confirm the registry, the NIB needed to have given us those adults who have since ceased to be alive, whether they are part of the data or not. And that's why Iebc is saying we don't want money. We no longer want ghost this time. In that one now, the infighting is coming in. And you see, the worst thing in any country are NGOs. Because NGOs sometimes are not impartial. There are certain groupings where they join. So they would run court. And any of technicality may happen in law that may make the judges to come and say that even the manual register will come. That one we have given another worker that is going to be with us. You understand? So, we have had a system where we are failing to analyze what we need when and where. Because even right now, Iebc has not written to the Chief Justice to seek an opinion. we have decided to use electric process. We no longer want manual registers. What is the position? They are waiting to be taken to court for another judge to go and interpret the law the way he understands it. Another war protracts. That's why I was telling you in this country what we lack is discipline. Look at even the issues of certificates in this country.
The fake certificates.
The fake certificates.
Yeah.
That is not the management of Iebc. With the moment Iebc had gotten information that a Kenyan citizen is questioning the academic credential of certain candidates, what he needed to have done was to write to DPP, seek his authority and opinion. What do I do? DPP was to go and they could even constitute his own team of experts or send it to CID for investigation. So the certificate that is being used now, that one is the non-variable. Now you go to the unknown. The unknown is not part of what should go in the court proceedings. In the court proceedings, we should be knowing that you were either at that university or not. The police will have what is called an investigation diary, where you will know in that investigation diary you will be picking. I went to Team College in Uganda. I found that Sakaja got an invitation on this day. He sent his letter of acceptance on this day. He paid the first fees on this day. He was attending classes through online or regular. Then it moves, he did this exam, this exam, this exam, this exam, this exam, up to the last module. And then it will be giving out an account of the subjects that he had done and what he had passed. That is what makes a certificate. A certificate does not come without this process. So flashing a certificate, and that one you know, when you see people arguing in court, they are missing the point. When you see people arguing before Iebc, they are missing the point. Iebc is also entertaining what they do. They know they may not have that capacity because they would need a backing of somebody authorized by law on those investigation findings. So they could not make any decision beyond what they made. And you see, that's why we are being impacted on very wrong level of reasoning most of the time. Because the next thing now you're going to see is court. They are going to go to court. Court will look at it. It still lacks the proper process. It will be thrown. These people will run for elections. With those bad certificates, the way you call them, they will serve. Corruption element will come. So we'll be continuing losing money every day in wrong hands just because we are failing to imply the correct process when we are dealing with the case.
Thank you so much. That's Tom Nduku, security expert.
Yeah.
Allow me to say it the way I like it. American trained security expert, and he's been with us on the show. This is Impact. We'll be doing this again next week as we look at what's happening in the country, politically, as we are heading to the election, and of course he will also be telling us what we need to look out for, especially when it comes to matters security. My name is Millicent AROKA. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Asante.